Seigneur tout-puissant, écoute-nous.
Welcome back. The town of Betwa appeared untouched by calls for a ghost town as life continued to thrive on Monday, November 3, 2025. Schools and markets operated normally, though travel agencies somehow felt the impact. Mimi Tiobo throws more light.
There was no ghost town observed in Betwa in the East region on November 3rd, 2025. Life took its normal turn. Traffic flowed smoothly. The Kolbikon market was open and residents went about their daily activities calmly. In schools, calm and serenity prevail. We have not been impacted by the ghost town. There's order at the Pokolota Technical High School because classes are taking place normally and all teachers, all my staffs are here. Everyone is here. The students are also coming. However, a light morning rain did not stop students from rushing to their classrooms as the bell rang in primary and nursery schools. For the moment, everything is calm. The children are safe. All the teachers are present and we are keeping an eye on them. Everything is okay for the moment. There is no cause for concern. Furthermore, aware of the situation, the regional delegates of basic education told several schools across the city to assess the effective resumption of classes. The effectiveness of the conduct of classes. After surveying, we found out that schools are open at least 90% of the time. The students are present, and what was most important for us was to raise awareness and remind directors and teachers that they need to communicate with the educational community to ensure they send the children to school. Despite calls for a ghost town, life in Betwa continues normally. Only travel agencies remain closed.
As rumors about the supposed 3-day ghost town keep circulating, travel agencies are functional, though business is kind of slow as compared to the previous weeks. Jessica Ndiwum visited some travel agencies in Olembe, at Olembe and Van in Yaoundé and compared the following reports.
In travel agencies based in the Olembe municipality in Yaoundé 4, there has been a sharp decline in the number of travelers. Vehicles are parked waiting for passengers who are few and far between. Only minibuses, also known as No Name, are doing well. To get on the road, drivers must exercise patience. Customers are few and far between, forcing them to wait long hours before refueling their vehicles. Normally, people travel and move around, but right now, fear has taken over. Some major transport agencies, especially those heading to the west, have suspended operations and won't let me travel. Only a few small lesser-known companies are still running. However, strategies are quickly being put in place to try to reverse the trend. Agencies that agree to operate are struggling to fill their vehicles as passengers remain scarce. What we are doing now is raising awareness and reassuring travelers, going from agencies to agencies. In Van, within Yaoundé 4 municipality, the situation is much the same. Most large vehicles remain parked, with only minibuses plying routes to the southern region, especially Eboloa and Sangmalema, continue to transport passengers. Authorities report that travel to the littoral region is still strictly prohibited.
The situation in Olembe is, it is not the way it is always, but it is not also as worse as people say. We will say that the place is getting a bit better, though slow, but a bit better. We can see people who come each day, they try to open their businesses. It's true that some agencies are grounded because of fear to travel. But I think with the intervention of the forces that we have in place, they try to maintain some order. We continuously call on the persons that are working inside the structure not to get involved in any form of violence. We try to speak to them every day whenever we have the chance. Even those that are offloading, we talk to them not to get involved in a kind of violence, because it will lead us to nowhere. We can only build our nation if we decide to. So we choose peace over violence.
The agency managers we spoke with prefer to remain silent, fearing reprisals. Off camera, some confided that they have received threatening messages in recent days. They say they are awaiting the outcomes of ongoing negotiations between the transport unions and the Minister of Transport, hoping to resume their activities soon.
And still in the same light, the economy is gradually slowing down as a result of the 3-day ghost town calls. According to experts, this plays a significant pullback in the economy. An economist expatiates on how it affects the economy as some businesses decided to observe it. Let's watch. The unofficial ghost town announced for 3 days was not observed by many citizens. The few businesses and enterprises which stayed closed on the first day was a setback for the economy, as experts say.
Some businesses actually observed the ghost town on the first day, and even on the second day, even today, some have actually still respected the ghost towns, and it is a setback to the economy.
Economic statistics during this period will obviously see a drop as gross domestic product falls.
During this period of so many lockdowns, the economic situation of the country has really faced so many challenges. First and foremost, resources are not equally distributed throughout the various regions. Some regions depend on others for one thing or the other, and these lockdowns have caused so many issues because basic commodities have faced an increase in their prices. Some have even doubled. This has led to a fall in the consumption of many necessities.
Authorities are still urging the population to remain calm and go on with their normal activities. And overflowing waste bins are fast becoming a common sight across several parts of the city of Yaoundé. From Juvans to BMRC, residents and business owners are decrying the growing health and environmental threat, of course, that this could cause. Patience Shintum spoke with some of the residents and compiled the following reports.
From Mario Primaire in Juvans to Carrefour Kaka and along the Rond-Point Express Takers stretch, piles of garbage have become both an eyesore and a health hazard.
Where we are is really a shame because when you look at the level at which we are now, due to our health condition, is really bad because it actually pollutes this environment. And we are really feeling bad.
Despite the availability of dumpsters provided by the council, many residents still choose to dump trash around them rather than inside. The result: overflowing bins, littered streets, and foul odors seeping into nearby businesses and homes.
One, for the population, they come, they see the waste bin, they throw, they leave where to dump. They dump at the site. Look at. If you can see behind me, I don't know whether the council has to sensitize people or what. Then two, the council is supposed to pass at least twice a weekend because the population here, I don't know what to do.
The same problem extends from Carrefour Tekase past Parlement Eto up to Carrefour BMRC, where heaps of waste continue to accumulate.
Someone cannot really actually walk here freely, and the other people who are working here, you see at times customers will come and go away because they cannot withstand the odor of this place. So they prefer to go, who make actually work to be very difficult for us.
Yet, amid the frustration, citizens acknowledge recent efforts by the waste management company to improve collection. Many, however, insist that lasting change depends not only on the company, but also on civic responsibility. Keeping Yaoundé clean, they say, is a collective duty, one every Cameroonian must uphold.
The Minister of Public Service and Administrative Reform, Joseph Le, this November 4, hosted a pivotal evaluation meeting for the Smart Campus project. This collaborative initiative between Cameroon and Korea aims to enhance public service transformation in Cameroon. As you tell us in this report, Agnes Ayuk.
Thank you.
On November 4th, 2025, the Auditorium Hall of the Ministry of Public Service and Administrative Reform hosted an important evaluation meeting under the auspices of the Minister of Public Service and Administrative Reform, who doubles as the President of the Steering Committee for the Smart Campus project, Joseph Le. This initiative is a collaborative effort between Cameroon and Korea.
We are already in the operational phase of our important project with our partners of Korea, with KOICA, because we are working together on the implementation and installation of 4 smart campuses in Cameroon, namely at ENAM, at SUPTIC, at Minfopra, and at ESMP.
The project aims at enhancing awareness and capacity building for public service transformation in Cameroon, a project which is in great progress.
This meeting was very important because it has enabled us to make a kind of evaluation. After that evaluation, we have noticed that things are going on smoothly and we can now accelerate the process so that everything should be okay by the end of 2025 or the first semester of 2026.
The Smart Campus project aims to modernize and transform public service delivery through the integration of e-government practices.
In terms of technical perspective, I think I'm quite confident to say that although we are seeing some delay, every component is ongoing well, and I think we can be, even if there might be some slight delay, I think we will be confident to accomplish this whole project we will achieve the target of this project very well.
It should be noted that the event brought together key stakeholders, including government officials, technology experts, and representatives from both Cameroon and Korea.
And on to this, Cameroon's ongoing internet disruptions are causing widespread frustration and economic hardship. Businesses and residents struggle to access essential services in an increasingly digital world. Mimi Tiobo tells us more.
Residents and businesses in Cameroon are facing significant challenges due to ongoing internet disruptions. Many enterprises, especially those reliant on online transactions, have been severely affected. Entrepreneurs and employees are struggling to access essential services, process transactions, and communications with clients. The lack of reliable internet access has reduced productivity, causing delay and lost opportunity for both businesses and individuals. At any moment, there are always disruptions, but the disruptions are even worse now. Before, there were disruptions, but now there are times when it's like 1 or 2 days without network. And without network, we can't make transactions, which is a problem because customers often need certain things. When there's network disruptions, the message doesn't come through, and you can't even confirm to a client that their transaction was successful. Well, from time to time, the connections get off, so sometimes it works well. There are times when it lasts for 1 or 2 days. Well, we don't know how it works. Everything is not fine. Until the connection stops, well, we don't know. Citizens describe the situation as frustrating and discouraging.
It's having a negative impact in the business of the society and all the rest. As I said before, it's something that without internet, in fact, we can't work as normally. Almost those people that are selling clothes through online and all the rest. So it's having a very negative impact.
In the meantime, workers remain glued to their phones, hoping for stable connections to complete their tasks, but progress remains slow. The situation underscores the urgent need for improved infrastructure and reliable internet services to support the country's economic and social development.
And in something else, Road Transport Union members came together this November 4, 2025 in a meeting presided over by Minister Jean-Ernest Masina-Ngale Bibehe to talk about highway disruptions. The high-level consultations took place at the conference room of the Ministry of Transport. Jude Kenji reports.
Chaired by the Minister of Transport, Jean-Ernest Masina-Ngale Bibehe, the meeting comes in response to the significant challenges in the road transport sector following the October 12 presidential election.
Il a été prévu de réfléchir sur l'adaptabilité et la fréquence des transports.
It was planned to reflect on the adaptability and frequency of transportation, see to what extent we should work on nighttime schedules for certain types of transportation. But it's up to you to shed more light on this. Establish clear and transparent communication. If there is a concern, please don't hesitate to report it as quickly as possible. Implementing a reinforced security plan for vehicles and passengers. It was also suggested to avoid confrontations with protesters, to collaborate with local authorities and law enforcement, and to think, and that's what most important in our discussion today, to think about humanitarian aid.
Et de réfléchir, tenir beaucoup plus. Et c'est ça qui est l'élément le plus important de notre concertation de ce jour.
The socio-political context features localized tensions and protests, which disrupt the flow of passengers and goods in key logistical areas. The government's objective is to communicate new measures directly to the leaders of socio-professional transport organizations. The goal is to streamline operations and secure the main transport corridors for both goods and passengers. Appreciated by the representatives of trade unionists.
Au sortir de ces réunions, nous sommes ravis d'entendre les mesures que le gouvernement a prises pour amener la sécurité, la sérénité dans le secteur du transport.
After these meetings, we are delighted about the measures taken by the government to ensure security and serenity in the transport sector. Given the current challenges, intercity transport and road freight have come to a standstill. However, we are reassured and can now reassure transporters and their leaders to resume work as these measures are already being implemented. We also want to reassure the public that there is no need to be afraid. With the government's measures in place, we are committed to getting Cameroon moving again.
Le Cameroun, tant comme quelqu'un l'avait dit, tant que Yaoundé vit, le Cameroun respire.
This meeting represents the government's primary effort to stabilize a vital sector of the economic and restore normal traffic circulation across the country.
Apologies for the mixed-up in that report. And on to this, the budget of the Douala 4 municipality evaluated on October 31, 2025 has witnessed an 18% decrease, a situation which prompted the senior divisional officer for Wuri to call on the municipal councillors to actively participate in implementing the municipal campaign plan. As you tell us, Agnes Ayuk.
The Douala 4 Municipal Council on October 31, 2025, during a session chaired by the mayor of the Douala 4 municipality, presented a report of the budget for the fiscal year which ended on June 30, 2025. The initial budget was set at 3,535,085,310 francs. Following special authorizations, the total budget increased to 3,790,906,922 francs. According to the mayor, by June 30, 2025, the City Council had conducted a recovery of 500,099,830 francs, a budget which witnessed a decline compared to the previous year, when the recovery stood at 613,423,034 francs, indicating a decrease of about 113 million francs. The drop in revenue is attributed to a new law implemented in 2025 that restricted the direct collection of local taxes. On June 30, 2025, we carried out a recovery of 500 million. In 2024, at the same time, our recovery was 613,423,034 francs. You see that we have a decrease of nearly 113 million, an 18% gap, which represents that we have a new law which does not allow us to directly cover our local taxes, and this law was put into effect in 2025. I hope that in 2026 we will be able to effectively cover our local taxes in full. The mayor acknowledged the presence of the senior divisional officer for Wuri, Celiac Marine Vogo, the representative of the state. He expressed great appreciation for the efforts of the municipal executive despite the current financial challenges. He equally applauded the town's leadership for securing necessary subsidies to support municipal functions.
Déjà féliciter le maire.
I congratulate the mayor who, despite the difficulties of real treasury, was able to find the necessary subsidies to hold this session. I took action for the current performances, which necessarily calls for additional efforts. I also want to seize this opportunity to congratulate our population of the Douala 4 municipality, who did not give up despite the movement that our city witnessed during these last days. They have shown a sense of responsibility.
Républicains et citoyens.
It should be noted that the session underscored the importance of collective efforts and proactive governance in navigating the financial landscape while fostering growth and stability in the Douala 4 municipality.
And now let's talk news from out of Cameroon. From Tanzania to Sudan and in Brazil, different stories are making news across the globe. Jessica Ndiwum focused on these nations and throws more light on what's making news over there.
Internet access was partially restored on Monday in Tanzania with a warning to users not to share images that could disturb order. The government in Tanzania has warned people not to share photos and videos that may cause panic as the internet slowly returns after a 6-day shutdown during deadly protests that began on Election Day. Mobile phone users received a text message on Monday night saying that sharing images that could cause panic or demean human life could lead to treason charges. The messages came shortly after the internet was reconnected when people began sharing unverified images of bodies they claimed were victims of the election protest. A social media page that had been uploading videos and photos of purported election protest victims was pulled down on Monday evening after attracting thousands of followers within a day. The government has yet to release an official death toll from the protest, but President Samia Suluhu Hassan, during her Monday swearing-in, said there had been loss of life and urged security agencies to ensure a return to normalcy. While in Sudan, a global hunger observatory on Monday confirmed famine conditions in the Sudanese city of Al-Fashir, which fell recently under rapid support forces, as well as in Kadugli, another besieged town in the southern Sudan. The UN-backed Integrated Food Security Phase classification has previously only confirmed famine in camps for displaced people around the North Darfur capital Al-Shafir. Thousands of civilians are continuing to flee the city to surrounding towns, including Tawila, Melit, and Tawisha, following its capture. They have described their harrowing experiences under the 18-month siege. Residents have reported that with food supplies cut off, they were forced to eat animal feed and sometimes their hides. Aid groups worry about the fate of tens of thousands more who are either trapped in Al-Fashir or who have disappeared as they tried to flee. The United Nations said it has received credible reports of numerous atrocities committed by the RSF against civilians in the city, including summary execution and sexual violence, particularly against women and girls. In Brazil, Brazil prepares to host COP30 climate summit at Gateway to the Amazon. There are mixed emotions from experts around the world as Brazil prepares to host the 30th edition of the United Nations Climate Summit in the city of Belém, the gateway to the Amazon rainforest. COP30 gets underway months after 2/3 of the 195 nations hopes to showcase a world that remains determined to tackle global warming. It's an aim that will tough in a year marked by economic upheaval and cancelled climate commitments by the United States.
And on to sports as the indomitable Lions of Cameroon intensify preparations for the FIFA World Cup qualifiers playoff games against DR Congo on November 13. The list of players for the Cameroonian side is yet to be made published. This delay sends a bad signal to the country's football administration. Sports reporter Phillips Enchi expatiates.
With just days to go before the World Cup qualifiers match between the indomitable Lions of Cameroon and the Leopards of DR Congo, the final list of players set to participate in the FIFA World Cup qualifiers, scheduled for November 13, 2025, is yet to be released. Despite claims by the head coach Marc Brice to have submitted the list of players to the Cameroon Football Federation on October 23, 2025, within the deadline, fans are still eager, awaiting the official announcement. The delay has raised concerns, with many wondering what is preventing the Cameroon Football Federation from publishing the list, despite reportedly having it in their possession for 2 weeks. The 28-man squad, which features some Cameroon top players competing in major football leagues globally, is yet to be unveiled. Meanwhile, the Leopards of DR Congo have officially announced their 25-man squad for the playoff FIFA World Cup qualifiers set to take place in Rabat, Morocco. As the match approaches, football enthusiasts are on the edge of their seats, waiting to see the final lineup for the indomitable Lions. It should be recalled that the indomitable Lions miss out on the spot in the next stage of the FIFA World Cup qualifiers, despite finishing second in Group D. The playoff stage presents a crucial opportunity for the indomitable Lions and head coach Marc Brice to secure a spot at the FIFA World Cup. Hopes are running high among Cameroonians who are eagerly awaiting the Cameroonian Football Federation's announcement of the final player list, as fans are keen to see their favorite stars take to the pitch.
And that sports news takes us to the end of tonight's edition. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for watching and stay in the company